Hey guys, welcome back to Hangzhou Usecast. This is Fanchi on the mic. So this episode, we have a really special opening because we invited a lovely Australian girl, Anna, who is also a Kidult collector just like me.
Hi everyone, I'm Anna from Australia. I'm here today to film a podcast about being a kidult, so a kid adult. Really excited to talk about it because it's been something happening in my life since I was 18, since I became an adult.
So at the very beginning, I was trying to make this episode a light chat, maybe talk about the Labubu Craze and talk about our funny collecting stories.
It breaks the stereotype that toys have to be cute. It is the #1 superstar in the universe right now.
And I don't know, somehow, we just unexpectedly touched some hidden wounds behind being a kidult.
I would wear kind of more tomboyish clothes, or I would wear like a Star Wars t-shirt, and she would be like, why do you like that sort of stuff? You're embarrassing me with like how you're dressed.
You know, during this cross-cultural chat, I realized that no matter you're kids from China or Australia, as being a kidult, you're always pushing back the stereotype from maybe parents or society. Like, you know, fighting against all these biases. Especially, I remember when Anna mentioned that she was bullied at school only because she was being nerdy. Yeah, and that really touched me hard.
Even as an adult now, I still sometimes have these memories of being bullied or of like parents not understanding. But you have to look at the positive side.
It's like those kids who feel lonely or misunderstood finally find their true selves in the world of collectibles. So anyway, I want to say, just get ready for this episode. Because in this episode, we are not just going to talk about Labubu Craze and kidults, we are also finding our ultimate collectible, which is love and peace.
Hey yo, pack your bags and follow the tracks. Open your minds and try new things, man.
Hey there! Welcome to Hangzhou Usecast.
We're here to bring you the coolest stories.
Listen to the ideas of international youth.
Coming to the realm of global youth cultural exchanges.
It's Hangzhou Usecast.
It's Hangzhou Usecast.
Hello, welcome back to Hangzhou Usecast. This is Fanchi on the mic. And no matter who is listening or watching, I want you to know we have a lot of guests here because today we are going to talk about kidults. So let's start with the introduction of our real guest here. Welcome.
Hi, I'm Anna from Australia. I am here today because I am a kidult. I am a kid adult. So yeah, I've brought my own little things to talk about today, and I'm excited to meet your babies.
Your babies.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, so I'm curious. All these toys, or let's say babies, which is your favorite now?
Okay. I feel like, right now we're talking about the Labubu Craze.
Yes.
So Labubu and like the accessories and stuff is my latest purchase recently. So I would say like maybe current fave is Labubu, but all-time fave, like the underlying favorite through my whole life is Star Wars.
Yes.
So like I couldn't bring everything today, so I only brought one thing, my little Grogu toy here. Star Wars is definitely my favorite, and then currently I guess Labubu.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. You know, people are crazy about Labubu.
Yeah.
Yes, and you know, actually, this is the first time I see so many Labubus in my real life.
Yeah, it is for me too, except for in the Pop Mart store.
Yes.
Yeah, you can see the ones.
Yeah, so many people want to buy them and crazy about them. And I think it's maybe, you know, like on social media platform, we can see that so many stars or celebrities are holding Labubu on their bags. Like I can see Thai Princess and Rihanna and David Beckham and the K-pop queen Lisa.
Lisa, yeah.
Yes, that's so crazy.
Yeah, she was the first celebrity I saw wearing or who had a Labubu like on her bag.
Yes.
I actually haven't seen like David Beckham and all that. That's really interesting that they like it too. But yeah, I will tell you something. So like would have been 2021 or maybe 2020. I was actually live streaming for or for the company that worked for Pop Mart. So back then Australia didn't have any Pop Mart stores. So now like the whole world, like even France has like Pop Mart stores.
Yes.
You know, they've got official stores everywhere. But back then I think only China had Pop Mart stores. So we would import the blind boxes and then I would live stream and open them. So now in China, Dai Chai is very popular, but back then it was like no one else was doing it. And yeah, back then I was opening and telling people about Labubu back when it was like the first generation. So they had like, we don't have any of the hard ones, but you know, its head was like a skinny head and now it's got like a round head. So I've known about Labubu and I've collected Labubu for like 5 years now. Yeah, so for me it's really interesting to see it go from in Australia not even having a store there because local people didn't even know about it or care about it to now, and it's like the whole world is crazy about Labubu. It's been really interesting watching that from my perspective. But I mean, for me, even when I saw the celebrities have it on their bag, I wasn't like super obsessed with it, I guess, because it didn't shock me because I've known about Labubu for so long. But then when I went into the Pop Mart store on my own and I saw them, like this one and the new, like the multicolored ones, and I saw them on there, I was like, okay, that is really cute. And then I bought my own. I started buying my own, so I get it. Yeah.
And you know, the craze reminds me of another brand, Jellycat.
Jellycat, yeah.
Yes, because I still remember like 1 year before, you know, the in the pop shop in about Jellycats, people just, so many people went there and to experience their like their pretend wrapping. Yes, you know.
Yeah, like if you buy the vegetable, they're like,
yes, they're like cook for you.
Yeah.
They got a hamburger.
It's really cute. Yes, you get the whole experience, and it's like how I mentioned before we started filming about the whole like, it's kind of like a baby or like something you want to take care of.
Yes.
So it feels good when someone else also treats it like it's like something special.
Treasure, yes.
Yeah, like a treasure. Like how they box it up for you and you take it home. Like it's kind of like a little ritual. So
and also I noticed that people are waiting for lines for these toys.
Yeah.
And most of them are adults.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. So I have a question. Aren't these fluffy toys supposed to be kids' toys? Right? So that's why now people create a word which is kidult.
Kidult.
Yes, kidult.
Yeah.
So you know, except for these, you know, lovely toys, we also have other ways to show our way to love to be a kid adult, right? So for you, do you have other ways to show your love to these toys?
Yes. So ever since I've been an adult, so from 18 and even before then, so about when I was 15, I started to do cosplay. So at that time, like I was watching anime, and then because I was very nerdy, I got obsessed with things really easily. I couldn't just watch it. I also started buying, like I've got heaps of figurines at home, or just like the merchandise in general. And then once your obsession hits a certain level, you start cosplaying it.
Yes.
And then for me, it was the same as, like I said, about how other people, when they treat like the Jellycat and they wrap it up and you see other people interacting with it. For me, cosplaying was about the interaction with other people. It wasn't about feeling like I am the character or anything like that for me. So yeah, it was about finding that community. And then when you see someone in real life who is cosplaying a character that you love, that feeling of like excitement, like because you're like, they like it too. It's like a non-verbal way of communicating with like fellow fans of the same fan base. So that's a really exciting feeling. And like with any good feeling, the dopamine, you get addicted to it and you just keep going. So I think with buying and collecting these things, it is about the dopamine release, you know, the happy hormones. However you get that hormone. You know,
there is a Chinese slang on the internet which is too childish for kids, but just good,
right.
just right for adults. Yes, yes.
Yeah, I think it's true. Like, even with, I know you've got your Minions here.
Yes.
And it's obviously Despicable Me is a kids movie,
Yes.
but the fan base, I mean, the people crazy about buying the little figurines are mostly adults, and it's not even because the movie came out when we were kids. Like, the movie would have come out when we were teenagers or something, but you know, I'm still obsessed with it. It's like, I'm sure most of these things, like, especially, what's she called, Annabelle? You said she's called...
This is Lena Bell.
Lena Bell,
Yes.
right. So I'm not familiar with this whole, with her, but I'm sure she started out as well for kids. And I'm sure
Yes.
kids do like her.
Yes.
But adults are obsessed.
Obsessed, totally
Like,
obsessed.
Even though I don't know her name, I'm so sorry. I've seen the people obsessed with her online, and
Yes.
like how people will spend even more than they're selling it for, like Labubu. Actually, even me, I bought my Labubu. It's supposed to be 99 RMB per
Yeah.
blind box. I bought mine for 300 RMB, which is actually okay. I've seen people spend much more than 300.
Yes.
So, but I know that this one can be sold for so much money, and it's, I mean, only an adult can pay that.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. And you know what? Maybe, some characters of these toys, they don't have a movie or animation.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
but
true.
they're just so crazy on the internet. Yes, and also especially this one, Lena Bell, we are mentioning. She has like 6 brothers and sisters, and it's like a series. They don't have any movie as a backup.
Okay.
Yes.
That's probably why I can never remember her name or like
Yes.
what she is. I think because she doesn't have a movie.
Yes.
But if I went to Disneyland, which is something I've actually never done yet, I would probably also become obsessed with her.
Yes, yes.
So
I think yeah, this can be a weird situation. Maybe
Yeah.
we can talk about it later.
yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
and when we are speaking of kidults, would you think that it's a situation or a feeling that people refuse to grow up?
I think no. I think people who are kidults or would kind of consider themselves one wouldn't see it that way.
Yes.
But I think people who aren't one or don't have a friend who's one or a family member who's one or like don't really understand it, I think that they would feel that way. And I know because I've got friends and family who, I mean, we haven't talked
yes.
about it, but I know if I asked them or if I told them like that, oh, I bought the Labubu today, like my dad, if I told him I bought this today, he'd be like,
so
what are you doing? Like,
Yes.
they'd be like, oh, waste of money, or it's not even cute, or like they just don't get it. And I think
Yes.
that people like that would definitely see it as, you're a grown up now.
Yes.
You're not supposed to be playing with toys. But I mean, it's the same with everything. There are people who will understand, people who won't understand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you said before, community.
Yeah. And I mean, there's no proof that we're not growing up, is there? Because we're working or we're students. Like, I'm a PhD student, you're working. So we're clearly grown up.
Yep.
Kids don't work. Or they shouldn't. And
Yes.
yeah, like we're buying it with money that we've earned.
Yes.
So if you want to say that people who like this stuff or Star Wars or whatever are not growing up, okay, well, show me the proof.
Oh, yes.
Are they, if they're not working and they're using their parents' money to buy toys when they're 35, sure, that person's not growing up. But it's not
Yes.
because they like this stuff. It's 2 separate problems, I think.
Yes.
That's my
Yes.
opinion.
All right. So
Defensive.
yeah, but that's that means something. Yes.
Yeah.
And also I'm also curious because so many people are doing the kidult things now. For example, like me, I buy a lot of blind boxes and to customize my toys and even my shoes. Yeah, Crocs, right?
Yeah.
Yes. I don't have a Crocs, but I have another Chinese brand, and which is also are making the shoes like Crocs. They also create some decorations.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love buying these decorations to decorate my shoes.
Yeah, me too.
Yes. Right.
I have a Star Wars pair of Crocs. They're not here with me today. But yeah, I completely get it. Yeah.
So there are so many ways to be a kid adult.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, and another one. So this is like one of the main ways. I didn't bring the actual bag, but you know, in China there's a thing called like 通包 or like a 通车
I
or
know
something
that
like
exactly.
that.
Yeah.
So that's I brought the badges. So badges are a big thing here in China.
Oh yes. 谷子。
就是 吧唧。
哦
对
sorry.
谷子不谷子也有谷子稍微不一样吧。
A little
那
bit
个卡
different, right? Oh.
I'm not sure. Now I'm not sure, but maybe they are called 谷子. But yeah, so I have a lot of them. I just brought the ones that I don't currently have on my bag. So there's like Genshin, which is a game. There's different animes, and then this is another anime that's on Netflix, really good. The Mi Gong Fan.
Yes, I know
Yeah.
that.
So I mean, it's not even just shoes. Like this, you can put on. Usually, it's handbags, but you can put it on like
Oh yes.
anything. And I think, yeah, it's just because you want to show other people what you like.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the same as just like the way, you know, I'm dressing. I'm showing that I like pink,
Yeah.
you know, and you're showing that you like.
Black.
Yeah.
Yes, and also, you see, I got so many minions here, right?
Yeah.
And especially, I have this one,
Yeah.
the 12 Zodiac.
Yeah.
Yes, and I just put these on my office desk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everybody who just walked past or who is coming for me, I was like, see my kids.
Yeah.
Yes.
They know exactly what you like.
Yes.
And then when you see it, you feel happy. And that's important as well.
Yes.
Like the way you dress should make you feel happy. The way
Yes.
you accessorize should make you feel happy. It shouldn't be for anyone else. It should be for yourself. So
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, so speaking of the happy feeling, I'm also curious. So, how many you bought these, right? With money, right?
Yeah.
So I wonder, how many times you just buying these things only because I want it?
Okay. For me, it would be 100% of the time. I've never done the like some people have started posting online. I've seen that they're regretting buying specifically the most recent Labubu because they bought it because it was a craze and they felt like other people have it, so I should have it too. I think that is not a good way if you want to collect, like not be a professional collector because that's like another level, but if you want to collect things, you can't do it because other people are doing it or because other people like it, because you will regret it sooner or later. Maybe you won't regret it like in 2 months, but a year later when this thing, because it takes up space, these all take up space, so when it's sitting in your house and you didn't even like that character and you think every time you see it you're like, oh, I spent that much money on that, it's just gonna annoy you. I think. And in a year's time, it's not going to matter that this was a craze a year ago. It's not going to matter that your friend that you don't like that much had one on her bag and you want to be cool too. You know, like none of that is going to matter.
Yes.
So like for me, I will only buy something if I really like it. Like in my soul, I really like it. And that's why I have more Star Wars collectibles than any other, like even Pop Mart. It's because like that's the one I love the most. Like literally I will see something of Star Wars and just like I can't move. Like 走不动路. I'm like,
yes.
should I buy it? Do I
Yes.
have enough money? Yes, then I'll buy it. If I don't have enough money, I won't buy it. But yeah.
Yes.
So.
You know, for me, every time you know, actually this is my first minion, also from Pop Mart.
Oh yeah.
My first minion here.
Yeah.
I bought this maybe on my 3rd year in college, and then every month I bought it. I'll buy a new one. These are not all of them because there's too many. Yeah. And every time I talk to myself like, stop buying this useless shit because it can help any. They're just a toy. Just put it here. Yeah. They don't move. They cannot make money for you. They're just a toy. But every time when I walk past, I was like, okay, one more time.
Yeah, one more time.
Yes.
And I think, I mean, as long as we're talking about in the, like in a healthy way, like like I said, you're not spending more than you can afford, or your house isn't full to the point where you can't like use your kitchen properly, you know, people who hoard things. As long as we're talking about in like a healthy way, I think that it's fine, because that happiness
Yes.
Even if it's just for a moment, or if it's for when you see it on your desk, or when it's someone walks by and goes, oh my god, I love Minions too. Like, I think that happiness is worth it. I think just because its value is not in that it's like making money for us, or it doesn't have a physical use. It's like its value is still there. It's just in a
value
different
for
way.
Emotion.
Yeah, it's just an emotional value, and I think I think that it's good.
Worth it.
Yeah.
And also, you know, we have so many toys. So how did you fall in love with it?
Toys.
Which way? Like social media influence, or a movie, or your friend drag you in?
Right. So for all the collectibles, I definitely started from, like I said, Star Wars, but then also like Stargate and Star Trek. So they're all like science fiction movies or series. I started from there because my whole childhood and teenagehood was all about those things. So once I started earning my own money, which was quite early on, so I started working myself when I was 14.
Yep.
And then, if I saw something, and then I started going to conventions. Like I said, I was cosplaying, so I was going to like anime conventions or Comic-Con, and then I would be seeing the merchandise and buying it. And then, you know, like in Comic-Con in Australia or America especially, you can meet like celebrities there, and you can get them to sign photos and stuff. So I was meeting the actors in the shows that I liked, and that was like driving it forward, because it was just like amazing to see that person in your real life. And that's where I started, and then I would just keep going. And then now that I'm in China, so the only thing that makes me, well, it doesn't make me sad, but something that would make me happy is in China. So I love going to conventions still, because I do like anime and I do like games, but there's much less of like, for example, Star Wars. So I no longer buy kind of that type of merchandise. It's more like I kind of have become like how a Chinese fan would be. You know, I start buying badges, I start buying the cards, you know, I've started buying more like anime figurines and like less of this, because it's less popular in China. Star Wars is not as popular as this. So I've started to change. I guess I buy what's available. I buy what's available, and I'm very flexible. Like, it's easy for me to fall in love with something new. Like I said, if I ever went to Disney and I see her in the shop, I will most likely buy one, because in my brain I'll be like, it will remind me of when we did this podcast. And then it'll bring good memories.
It's good memory.
Yes.
Tune into Hangzhou. Discover the world. Hangzhou Youthcast.
So you also mentioned your childhood, right?
Yes.
So, you know, so many people, like, they describe, you know, buying these things, or let's say Kidult, as a childhood nostalgia. Yes.
Nostalgia. So.
Yes. It's like they reparenting themselves again.
So I've seen a lot of the reparenting, I don't want to call it a theory, but the reparenting theory, or the theory of like filling in a hole that you missed out on in your childhood, or, you know, all of these theories. And I would say out of all of them, the nostalgia one is definitely my favorite. And why I say that is because nostalgia, generally speaking, is a positive emotion. Sometimes nostalgia can make you sad, for sure, but I think in the sense of toys, we're talking about something positive. And whereas reparenting and what was the other one, like filling in the void, so filling in the gap, I would consider those negative. They would be negative emotions. So I would hesitate to link negative things to something like collecting toys or collecting collectibles. And why I say that is because as soon as you start linking negative things to this hobby, that it leaves the door open for people when they use like a negative bias
Yeah.
to look at us. So, you know, the people who are like, you're kids, you're not growing up. And then they have proof that we're not growing up because they're like, you said it yourself, you're reparenting yourself, or, you know, in your childhood you didn't have it. So it's it becomes a negative thing, I think. And whereas I think that it would be good if this all remained positive, because positive is healthy. So for me, because a lot of our childhoods, we don't actually remember a lot of it ourselves. You know, we have very fuzzy memories. I think if people just think about it like, when I was a kid, you don't have your own money. So you have to rely on someone else to buy it for you. Now I'm an adult, I can use my money for whatever I want, and I want toys. Whatever reason that might be. It could have nothing to do with your childhood. You know what I mean? Like, some people start watching anime when they're 20, and then when they're 21 they start collecting like these things. You know, sometimes it has nothing to do with your childhood. For me, Star Wars, because I liked it since I was a child, so when I see it, or when I see something in a shop or anything like that, now as an adult, I feel the nostalgia. I feel that childlike happiness, you know, childlike happiness. But I'm not going to sit here and say, I bought this because when I was a kid, my mum wouldn't buy it for me. And now I have to reparent myself. No, you know, I think that that's not a good way, actually, to have in your, like, it's not a good mindset. I think that people should try to be more positive about it.
I know. you know. Now I know what you're talking about. It's like if you link all these things to your bad memories, okay, that caused so much like bad emotions.
Yeah, they call it like trauma. They're like healing my trauma. I'm like, come on, like not getting like a Star Wars collectible or a Labubu when you're a child is not trauma. You know, people too easily link negative things to behaviors in their current life. And then I think if you think about it that way, and then you come home and you see a wall of collectibles, there might be some self-shame there, because you'll be like, this is all linked to my childhood trauma. Does that mean that I'm not healthy, or does that mean that I should be ashamed of this wall of collectibles? Because if I was a normal adult with a good childhood, I wouldn't have all of this. You know, it's very easy to get in like a negative. I'm like, no, it's positive. Like, I loved Star Wars, and especially Yoda. This is not Yoda, by the way. This is Grogu. Just in case any Star Wars fans try to cancel me. Yoda is so cute. He's like a little green man, right? So when I was a kid, that was the original, well, not the original Star Wars movies, but when I was a kid, number 1, 2, and 3 of the Star Wars movies came out. And I mean, Yoda, he's a cutie. He's in 4, 5, and 6. So he was the one that I liked the most when I was a kid. And so when I grew up and The Mandalorian came out, and Grogu was in The Mandalorian, I was obsessed with him. And now I have so many little Grogu blind boxes as well at home. And like, it makes me so cute. It makes me happy. I don't want to be like, my childhood was bad. So I'm like,
you know, anyway, I love your positive thinking. Because, you know, back in China, I don't know what's like in Australia, but, you know, so many Chinese parents, you know, they don't want their children to have all, you know, that much toys. Because, you know, especially in my generation, or maybe further generations, my parents' generation, they need to focus on study. They need to focus on some real practical skills. So parents don't want them to focus on something that can distract them,
because they don't understand it. They don't understand what it is like to be a child now. So when people don't understand something, they fear it. They're like, oh, my daughter, she's only 15, but she's obsessed with Labubu. I don't understand that. Like back when I was 15, that wasn't a thing, so it must be unhealthy, so I must stop her. You know, like, people, that's linking back to what I said in the very beginning of like, there's two types of people who understand kid adult and people who don't. So the people who don't understand it will have those negative feelings around it, and then it could create shame for the kids who are experiencing like the parents don't understand them. I've seen videos of like little teenagers will post a video on Douyin or something when after their parent, then maybe they didn't get a good grade at school and their parents come into their rooms and smashed all their stuff, their collectibles, and they've like ripped their posters and they're like, I don't know how to live in this house anymore. Like that is really, really sad and unfortunate. And I think that it is really hard when your parent doesn't understand you.
Yes. So I think that's why, that's the meaning of, you know, these toys like Labubu minions or whatever, because like maybe for some people this is the way to fix their memory. To fix their childhood or something. Yes, and that's really important because there is another slang which is some money is to, you know, to stop me from suicide. Yes.
Yeah, it's well, I mean, any form of dopamine or happiness will prevent suicide to some extent. I remember back when I was doing my bachelor's degree, I took a course in Japanese, like modern Japanese culture, popular culture. So obviously that included anime, which is a big one. And I remember seeing studies, like academic studies, not just like rhetorical evidence online, but actual studies that said people who enjoyed collecting collectibles or anime, or people who cosplayed, people who like got really into it, or were like gaming for maybe more than like 30 hours a week, they were actually also people who tended to have a need to escape their real life.
Yes.
So it is a form of escaping reality. So yeah, when I say like for kids or teenagers who are in that situation where their parent or maybe their friends, because I know when I was young I got bullied for liking Star Wars and stuff. So when I was a younger girl, like maybe below 14 years old, I found it really hard to make friends because I was really shy. And then I would wear kind of more tomboyish clothes, or I would wear like a Star Wars t-shirt. And then I remember one day I finally like made a friend, and she was everything that I wasn't. She was very feminine and very popular, and like she was what the boys liked. And I was like, I felt happy because someone like that liked me. I didn't want to become like her. I was just happy that someone I admired liked me back. Unfortunately, it didn't last long. She started bullying me. So I would come over to her house, or we would go to like the shopping mall together, and she would be like, you're embarrassing me with like how you're dressed. And she would be like, why do you like that sort of stuff? And yeah, she shames. So sometimes it's not your parent, sometimes it's actually like a classmate or a friend who will bully you for it. And it is unfortunate. Most, I would say, people like us will go through it. The thing I'm talking about with the whole like don't connect it to negativity, sometimes it's not a connection you're making, it's just the way it is. It is connected to negative things. What I mean is to have a positive mindset about it now. So yes, when you were 15, your parents didn't understand you, they smashed your things. I know that feeling. It's heartbreaking, and it's very hard to deal with those kind of memories. Even as an adult now, I still sometimes have these memories of being bullied or of like parents not understanding. But you have to look at the positive side. Now I am an adult and I am free and I have money and I buy this stuff and I put it in my home and no one is going to destroy it. It is safe and I am safe, and it's a nice, safe feeling. And I think that's a positive thing. That's why I mean, like, be careful when you connect the things you like to bad trauma. And I think a lot of it is in the mindset. And yeah, I mean, I don't think any Chinese kids will be watching our podcast, so I'm not gonna like send a message out for the kids, but like I think the way we can fix it as a society is to talk about it more, so that the people who don't understand kid adults will understand them. And then maybe they'll become one, you know, they'll let themselves become one. They won't feel, I think a lot of it is shame. Oh, if I buy this toy, is my husband gonna like laugh at me? Or like, am I gonna be able to find a boyfriend if he comes to my house and sees that I have a baby Grogu next to my bed? Like,
whatever.
Like the people who get it will get it.
Yes, and also positive is so good.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry to bringing you back to these bad memories. So let's just forget about it, okay?
Forget about it.
Yes,
Yeah.
let's back to Labubu.
Yes.
We've talked a lot about Labubu, about toys, and about the emotional value. So
Yeah.
I'm also curious. So what do you think is the key point to bring Labubu to the mainstream? Only because it's cute? I mean, like we said before, some toys, they don't have a IP. They don't have a background.
Yeah.
So why?
For Labubu, I'm going to take a more cynical standpoint on the Labubu issue, and I would say that it has a lot to do with their marketing strategy.
Yes, marketing.
So, step one, you find celebrities to wear it or use it, and then their fan base will buy it, and it will most likely sell out, and then you don't restock it. You make people starve for it, and then once it's back in stock, people will go on it like crazy.
Yes.
Or I don't know if is this too cynical for a podcast? But like in the past maybe 2 or 3 weeks, you couldn't buy Labubu from Pop Mart. You had to buy it from, like how I bought this one. So you had to buy it from like a third party.
Yeah.
But those companies, like, where did they get so much Labubu stock from? Because this is not a fake or like a Zuguo ban. No, they're calling it now. They're like the Chinese made Labubu. These are not, like, the one I bought is not fake. But like, so where did they get their stock from? Like, there are some people who say that Pop Mart was like supplying these third parties because they wanted the price of it to go up.
Yes.
Some people are saying like they re-imported the Pop Marts from other countries. Like, I remember I bought one. I unfortunately got 2 of the same color, so I had to sell the other one. I wanted a green and a blue one, but I got 2 blues, so I had to sell one. And I noticed on the box it was a real Labubu, but it was one that had been made and then sent to Thailand. And then Chinese people who wanted to do the live streaming to sell them, like, imported it back into China to sell to Chinese people. So it's like
So many tags.
It's like, yeah, so that's how crazy it is. So I
Yes.
think that it's so popular because of the really good marketing strategy and then also luck for this company. Obviously they were lucky that so many celebrities liked it first, and that pushed it up.
Yes.
But then they were smart enough to deal with the amount of people liking it. So I think it restocked like yesterday. I think they finally restocked it, and you can finally buy Labubus from their original price. Yeah, so you can get one now for 99 RMB instead of 300, or some people were paying for the newer multicolored one. They were paying like 700 for one of them. So finally, I mean, the price has gone back down, and this is good for Pop Mart because they can also claim like plausible deniability. They can claim like, no, we weren't purposely not restocking, just too many people were buying it, which doesn't really make sense because their warehouses were still working, so there should have been stock coming out every day. But now they're like 做好人. They're like, you can buy it now at 99, and it's like,
but
okay.
this is the normal way. I mean,
yeah, it's that's how,
it should
and that's
be 99.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is. And I don't want to say, like, that's not to say that Labubu in and of itself doesn't have worth. Like, people only like it because of the trick Pop Mart did to make everyone like it. Like, they call it 饥饿营销. So make the customers 饿着, starve them, and then make them want it more. And when they've got up here, and then you release it. So that's what they're saying has happened with Labubu. Like, I remember I saw like a little short documentary about what Labubu means, like from the designer's perspective. So I think Pop Mart is really good, and a reason they're good is because for the IPs that they like are Pop Mart originals, like Dimu and all of that. Which one? Where is it? The kid. This one.
Yeah.
Crybaby. I remember I
Crybaby,
saw
Crybaby here.
Yeah, a thing about her too, and it's like how the designer, I believe, don't quote me if I'm wrong,
cute.
but it was about how they believe that adults should be allowed to cry as well.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
Adults have, emotions and
Just break some stereotypes.
yeah, and that it's okay, to break the stereotypes. So, Labubu, can't remember what the meaning was,
Yes.
but I know that it has a meaning.
Uh-huh.
So that's not to say that its worth is purely materialistic or capitalist, as they like to say in the West, but there's definitely some of that,
Yes. Yes.
behind
and,
it.
Yeah, and also maybe for company, it's like a marketing strategy.
Yeah.
And for buyers, that reminds me of a word in Chinese is 跟风.
Yeah.
And translated into English, it's like following the wind, like following the trend.
Yeah.
Yes, especially like you mentioned about the community, right? It's like, especially 2 weeks ago, I went to Shanghai, and at the airport, I noticed something because I saw so many people are hanging a Labubu or a toy from Disneyland, no matter a Lina Bell, the yellow dog. Sorry, I just forgot the name, but just so many toys like Stitch on their bag.
Yeah.
And that gives me a little pressure. It's like if you don't have 20 toys hanging on your bag, you are out of fashion. You are too old. Yes.
Yeah, and it's the same with, it can go the opposite way, whereas, I should have brought the bag today. I don't know what I was thinking, but like when I carry my bag, my tongbao, that's got all of these badges on it, and it's got some other like merchandise in there. It's got like a clear bag on the front. Maybe I'll send a picture of it and you can put it on screen.
Okay.
It can go the other way, where when I'm wearing that tongbao, unless I meet up with like a fellow artsuyan, so another like nerd like me, people tend, when they see my bag, they're like,
oh
wow, they're like, what a loser, like what a nerd. It can go the other way. If the thing on your bag is not the cool thing, then you will receive like negative attention for it. But if I remember when I first got this blue Labubu, it was like a few weeks ago, so I was one of the, because I was willing to pay more, I was one of the first ones to have one on my bag. And I remember I went out with this guy hanging on my bag, and more than one person, like as they walked past me in Chinese, they were like, oh, she's got the Labubu, or like, oh, she's got one, I wonder where she got it. And I think the only reason they said that within earshot of me is because they thought I was a foreigner and didn't understand. Like, I don't think they would be that obvious if I was Chinese, but and so there definitely was, I was a little smug. I was like, that's right guys, I've got a Labubu. There was like a feeling of like, pride.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going to show off this.
Gonna show off, that's right, I got it. But I think it's all okay. Like, I don't want people who bought one because they were 跟风 ing to then now feel ashamed. Like, you can't have a Labubu unless you've liked it for 6 years, You're not a real fan. I don't like the whole like real fan and not real fan thing. I think, like, for example, if someone thought this was cute but they never watched Star Wars, I wouldn't be like, don't buy it.
Yeah.
This is only for Star Wars fans. I think that gatekeeping is also mostly negative as well. I was like, it is cute, and I think it is cuter than the ones that a few years ago, because firstly they're hard. They're like these ones, right? They're hard, and I remember they used to market towards men mostly. I remember because they would have like Labubu camping, and he was always doing what society would traditionally consider like man things. So whereas now they're super cute, and it's like pink and blue and like pastel colors like this.
Yes.
Women who have most of the buying power in the world